In the center of New York City, Dr. Evelyn Harper, a 60-year-old dermatologist, spent her days her work carefully attending to patients and running her Upper East Side clinic, but her evenings were another matter. Somber, desolate, and burdened by memories, Evelyn had been married to Richard, a corporate lawyer, for almost 30 years. Their marriage had begun with love but had gradually become cold, distant, and transactional. 4 years ago, Richard had left her for a younger woman, and the divorce had left Evelyn feeling deeply rejected and questioning her value. At 60, Evelyn felt as though she had aged more emotionally than physically. She still had her grace, her radiant smile, and an air of confidence, but her heart was heavy with loneliness. Evelyn met Theo Carter, a 25-year-old art student who worked part-time as a barista in a charming cafe close to her clinic, on a cool spring morning. Evelyn wanted to get married. She was looking for a quick break from her routine when she noticed Theo's pleasant disposition and beautiful green eyes. "Greetings, ma'am. What can I get you today?" With a warm smile, Theo offered her a cappuccino. Over the next few weeks, Evelyn found herself going to the cafe more frequently. Theo noticed her frequent presence and started talking to her, curious about her composed elegance and slightly guarded aura. Evelyn responded in a soft but hesitant voice as Theo handed her the coffee. Their fingers briefly touched, and Evelyn felt an unfamiliar flutter in her chest, but she dismissed it, blaming it off on exhaustion. One day, with his eyes sparkling, Theo said, "You seem like someone with fascinating stories to tell." Evelyn chuckled, "Oh, believe me, most of them are just dull medical tales." He persisted that day, and they spoke for hours. Theo talked about his love of painting and how he frequently finds inspiration in the complexity of human emotions. Evelyn then opened up about her difficulties, divorce, and efforts to start over. As their relationship grew stronger over time, so did their bond. Evelyn found Theo's youthful optimism and creative spirit irresistible, and Theo appreciated her resilience and wisdom. One evening, Theo asked Evelyn to his studio. He remarked, bringing out a painting covered in a cloth, "I've been working on something." It was a small, disorganized room full of incomplete canvases and the smell of oil paints. He revealed a portrait of Evelyn, capturing her poise and tenderness in brilliant strokes. Evelyn muttered, tears in her eyes, stunned by the beauty of this. Theo answered, his voice genuine, powerful, bright, and endlessly captivating, welling in her eyes, "That's how I see you." As they arrived at Bethesda Terrace on a wet evening, their relationship took a romantic turn after their first kiss. They were joking about Theo's most recent art class disaster and sharing an umbrella. Evelyn was abruptly stopped by Theo, who said in a soft yet firm voice, "You make me feel alive in ways I never thought possible." Before she could react, he leaned in and gave her a tender, passionate kiss that was full of unspoken promises and made her feel truly wanted for the first time in years. However, their relationship wasn't without its difficulties. As they cuddled on Evelyn's couch one evening, Theo stated, "What matters is how we feel about each other." Evelyn struggled with social criticism and her own fears about their age gap, wondering what people would think of him. Despite this, she held firm. Theo's constant assistance enabled Evelyn to embrace their relationship as they went to gallery openings, visited the lively districts of New York, and even went on weekend getaways to the countryside. This was the beginning of a new chapter in their relationship. Theo made a suggestion. Together, they started holding wellness retreats that combined Evelyn's medical knowledge with Theo's artistic workshops. Their partnership not only deepened their relationship but also inspired others with their tale of love defines conventions happily ever after, which was a testament to the notion that love knows no bounds, age, time, or expectations. Perhaps we can create something beautiful together. We'll take a brief break before moving on because Evelyn found joy, passion, and a sense of purpose that she had thought she had lost forever, and Theo found a muse, a partner, and a love that transcended the ordinary. Together, they demonstrated that sometimes the most unexpected connections can result in the most profound transformations. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the bell icon to stay up to date on our most recent content. Your feedback is really helpful to us, so let's get back to business. After Evelyn and Theo started dating, things seemed better, but there were still difficulties. Being a private individual, Evelyn was hesitant to make their relationship public because New York was a city full of viewpoints, and she was concerned about the reactions of her social and professional circles at a dermatologist's gala. Evelyn didn't introduce Theo as a friend out of embarrassment, but rather out of an unconscious dread of being judged. Theo saw her hesitancy but remained silent that night as they made their way back to her apartment. At last, Theo broke the stillness. Evelyn, I want to be at your side rather than in the background, even though I realize this is new for you, and I don't want to put any pressure on you. His remarks resonated deeply. Evelyn understood that even though she was afraid, she didn't want her anxieties to overpower the joy he brought into her life by standing up for what she believed in. When Evelyn introduced Theo as her boyfriend, the room fell silent for a moment. Her best friend Martha broke the tension, and Theo smiled and told their story, focusing on Evelyn's beauty and courage. By the end of the evening, even the skeptics were moved by his sincerity and wit. The following day, Evelyn invited Theo to a small dinner with her close friends, a mix of coworkers and lifelong confidants. As their bond grew, Evelyn experienced a surge of relief as her love was put to the test. After moving into Evelyn's large Manhattan apartment, Theo and Evelyn found that their lifestyles were a perfect fit. Evelyn's orderly schedule struck a balance. On their second evening there, beneath a blanket of stars, Theo held Evelyn's hands and said, "You've given me more than I ever imagined." In a gentle voice, he said, "I want to build a life with you, something real, something lasting." Evelyn started crying, and Theo surprised her with a weekend trip to the Catskills. It was a serene retreat surrounded by nature. "You've made me feel alive again. Theo, I never imagined that I would discover love at this point in my life." They welcomed their bond and felt more resilient than ever, despite their joy. One evening, while looking at her image in the mirror, Evelyn struggled with misgivings. She thought, what if he wakes up one day and realizes he wants someone younger, as she traced the small creases around her eyes. Sitting next to her, Theo observed her solemn demeanor and remarked, "Evelyn, you're not just the woman I love, you're my best friend, my inspiration, and my partner. Age is just a number. Our possessions are timeless." His comments temporarily allayed her worries, and their first anniversary was a significant occasion to celebrate love. Theo prepared a lavish surprise, a private rooftop meal where they reminisced about their journey while listening to soothing music in the background. The table was decked out with candles and her favorite flowers. Theo gave her a little box with a silver bracelet that read, "To Evelyn, my forever," engraved on it. Evelyn gave him a grin and a kiss. "You have restored color to my life." I appreciate Theo's perseverance in pursuing a common goal, motivated by their personal narrative. In an effort to assist others, Evelyn and Theo started a project called Healing Through Art and Wellness. Theo conducted art therapy sessions, while Evelyn conducted lectures on self-care and overcoming emotional suffering. Their activities were extremely well attended by individuals from all walks of life, and the couple came to represent hope, resiliency, and unwavering love. Years went by, yet their love only grew stronger. Evelyn stopped practicing and concentrated on their joint venture. On Evelyn's 65th birthday, Theo threw a surprise party for her friends, family, and even her former coworkers. In front of everyone, Theo raised a toast to Evelyn, the woman who taught me that love knows no bounds. Theo's art became well known because many of his pieces were inspired by their love story. Evelyn responded with a heartfelt, "Here's to many more years of laughter, adventure, and joy, and here's to you, Theo, the man who taught me that it's never too late to fall in love again." As they danced beneath the sparkling lights, their story became a testament to love that transcends time and age expectations. One evening during their getaway to the Catskills, Evelyn and Theo were lying on a blanket beneath a starry sky. With the exception of the distant hum of crickets and the harsh rumbling of leaves, the night was still. Theo turned to Evelyn and gently traced delicate circles with his fingers on her hand before asking, "Do you know what I find most beautiful about you?" Evelyn grinned shyly. It's your demeanor, you've gone through a lot, but you still have this grace and strength that attracts others. It's captivating. Theo said in a pleasant tone. Evelyn blushed. You make me feel special again. After everything, I never thought I'd feel this way. Theo leaned forward, removing a stray hair from her face. You've always been unique, Theo said. You only needed someone to remind you, Evelyn. On a quiet Sunday morning, they were cuddled up on the couch in Evelyn's apartment, drinking coffee together. Their lips met in a gentle kiss that conveyed trust, respect, and a developing passion that neither of them could deny. Evelyn remarked, "Do you ever think about the future?" in a voice that was almost audible above a whisper, while Theo, still sleepy, placed his head on her knee and stroked her fingers over his hair. Evelyn's eyes glistened as Theo responded, "Every version of it has you in it. You're so young, Theo, you have your entire life ahead of you. What if one day you regret this? You've changed my life, Evelyn, you've shown me what it means to love deeply." Evelyn couldn't help but smile when he said, "I don't care about the age difference, I care about us. I promise to choose you every single day." He said, kissing her forehead makes love so simple when it's real intimate moments in the studio. One afternoon, Theo invited Evelyn to his art studio so he could paint her, capturing her in a moment of strength and vulnerability. "Sit here," he said, leading her to a stool in the middle of the room and encouraging her to just be yourself. Evelyn laughed uneasily, "You're making me feel a lot of pressure." They chatted about their lives, their goals, and their anxieties, and Theo grinned and said, "You don't need to do anything, you're perfect just the way you are." "When you look at me, what do you see?" Evelyn inquired in a light-hearted yet inquisitive tone. Theo stopped, lingering his brush over the canvas. When he completed it, he showed me the picture, which was unvarnished and emotive, capturing her essence in every brushstroke. "I saw a woman who is more beautiful than she thinks. She has taught me that love is about connection, not about years or expectations." Evelyn asked, "This is how you see me," with tears welling up in her eyes. As they danced in her living room, to a gentle jazz tune, Theo whispered, "I'll always see you on an evening of passion." He pulled her into his arms. The atmosphere became electrified with melody. Theo couldn't take his eyes off Evelyn's magnificent black dress, and he said, "You're stunning," as they swayed to the music. Evelyn laughed, "You flatter me too much, not nearly enough. Do you realize how irresistible you are to me?" Theo muttered, his lips grazing her ear. When Theo's hands gently traced Evelyn's back, their lips met and their kiss deepened, filled with the unspoken desires they had both been holding back. They spent the rest of the night in each other's arms, their bond becoming stronger as they shared their dreams, fears, and the kind of intimacy that is beyond words. Evelyn felt her heart race. Late-night discussions. Unable to sleep one night, they wrapped themselves in a warm blanket and sat on Evelyn's apartment balcony as the city lights below glowed like 1,000 small stars. "Ever wonder how our paths crossed?" Evelyn leaned her head on Theo's shoulder and asked, "I don't question it, I'm just grateful it happened." Theo grinned and interlaced her fingers. Evelyn let out a happy sigh. Most people spend their entire lives looking for real love. They remain there until the first rays of dawn painted into the sky, their hearts full and their souls entwined. Theo kissed her hand, "And you gave me something that I never thought I'd feel alive again. You brought so much light into my life."